Hey, I got to watch Blue Beetle. Here is my non-spoilery movie review. Blue Beetle is the latest DCEU film, or maybe the first DCU film, that stars the kid from Cobra Kai, and he plays the main character, Jaime Reyes, who is Blue Beetle. And before I watched this, I kind of had to sell it to myself and said, hey, this is like a Tokusatsu movie, but for DC films. And so I generally love that because I am a Tokusatsu fan. It reminded me of Guyver, and there were a lot of different Guyver moments here, especially when the thing attaches to him and he turns into Blue Beetle. Yeah, that looks like Guyver. But thankfully, it's more than that, and it also captures a DCEU or DC trope, I would say, but it's a good trope. It's not a bad trope. It's like a good thing. Remember in the past where you had parent-child moments in every DCEU movies? I love those. Those tear me up, sometimes even crying, and I'm telling you, this movie is no different. If those made you tear up or cry, grab some tissue boxes. Oh my god. But that was the beauty of this movie. I think they handled the family aspect really well. They really do feel like a family. But to be honest, when the movie started, it kind of was a rough first act. Yeah, it kind of bored me a little bit, and some of the characters were kind of unlikable, like Jaime's sister. But then as you get to know them and it runs into the second and third act, okay, I think you've sold me now. But it took a while to get there. Also, it didn't help that one of the biggest names to join this movie, Susan Sarandon, was pretty bad. It's Susan Sarandon! She phoned this one in. She wasn't even trying. They literally could have got anybody, but I guess they needed a big name, Susan Sarandon, but what happened? At least George Lopez actually tried, and he came off actually really funny at times and some not so much, but I thought he added the most levity to this movie. But by far the biggest selling point for me was the actual Blue Beetle parts. I love the action, the choreography was awesome, the CGI action was really well done, and it does kind of come off like I guess you can say compared to like Spider-Man at times or Iron Man at times, but generally an entertaining comic book action movie. And I also want to just say, I get really irritated when people say, oh, it's like Power Rangers. Yeah, I get it. It's red, it's blue, he has a mask on. That doesn't mean they're Power Rangers. That's totally different. But maybe that's just me because I'm a Power Rangers fan. I don't know. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is the music. Dug that like 80s synth, techno, whatever type of music that you call it. In fact, there are some moments where they actually played a song instead, and I kind of like, well, I'd rather have this synth soundtrack. Just bring me more of that. But overall, I dug this movie, even if it had a rocky start to it. And now I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of Jaime Reyes in the new DC universe, now that we got the origin out of the way, and possibly, no spoilers, since that mid-post-credit scene was perhaps approved by James Gunn, can't wait to see that character in the new DC universe as well. Alright, have you seen Blue Beetle? And I hope you have. In my theater, it was just me and my two boys and a few other people, so I think the box office is not going to be great, but thankfully, James Gunn promises this guy is still going to stick around. So that's good. But other than that, let me know your thoughts on Blue Beetle.